Presented by Glenn Smith Chevy GMC, Coca-Cola, and Jack Houston Memorial Hospital Houston Clinic. The Pacelli Vikings taking on the Shaw Raiders in a non-region contest. Both teams looking to get things cranked up as they go down the home stretch of the season. Both teams trying to sew up playoff spots. Shaw coming into the game 14-10, 9-2 in the second place in Region 1, 2A in GHSA. Well, Vikings 5-16, 1-5 in District 5 in GIAA, hoping to make the field for the 4A playoffs. Let's take a quick look at the starting lineup for the Shaw Raiders. And the national anthem completed here at Diamond Field as Pacelli and Shaw get set to get things started. On the mound, as we mentioned, for Pacelli will be Billy Smith, the senior right-hander. Smith, this will be his 8th appearance of the season. Billy's 1-3 on the year with a 4.11 ERA. He leads the team in innings pitched, 32 1/3, giving up 45 hits. Surrendered 29 runs, only 19 of them earned. He struck out 27 and walked 12, giving up 4 homers. Opponents are hitting .317 against him. Smith, a fireballing right-hander, one of the key players for the Viking pitching staff as they try to make a run down the stretch and improve their standing and make sure they get into the GIAA playoffs. As for the conditions out here, couldn't be better. A beautiful, beautiful April afternoon as we hit the 6 o'clock mark. It's 73 degrees out here. How much better does it get? A nice sunny day. Wind out of the east-northeast is 8. Gusting to 13, which means the wind is going to be blowing across from left field to right field, so it's not going to be helping anything that's hit up in the air. Earlier this year, there were a lot of games where the wind was blowing out, and folks could get something into the jet stream and pop it over the center field fence. But here we go as we get set. The Vikings, again, 5-16 on the year. Shaw, 14-10. The Raiders are number 2 in Region 2. On Tuesday, they were playing for a share of first place. They fell to Columbus, but out on the stretch, if they take care of business in their final 3 region games, they can sow up home field advantage in the first round of the GHSA 2A playoffs. Shane Burks will be behind the plate calling the balls and strikes in this one. Tom Buck will be making the calls on the bases. As we get set, Shane Burks over talking to Matt Ward and Matt Dormany, the 2 head coaches. Dormany, of course, as head coach of Shaw, will be coaching at third base. Coaching at first will be Tyler Goldston. As we get set for the first pitch of this ball game, as the bells go off at St. Anne's Catholic Church for the Vespers. And stepping up plate, Kingston Long, a senior center fielder. Billy Smith getting set to deliver the first pitch. Big swing, strike one. As Long is hitting .304 in the season with 1 home run and 11 runs batted in. He leads the team in triples. He's got 3. Here's Smith's 0-1. Just a little bit outside. Count now 1-1. For Billy Smith, the key is to stay ahead of the count. Try to feed it inside of the hitters. Got a good fastball. Smith gets the sign from Alex Apani, goes into the line to 1-1. Check swing, made it to strike. 1-2 count now. Kingston Long, senior center fielder. Smith gets the sign, goes into the line. Here's his 1-2. Swing fouled off. Long gets a piece of it, stays alive. Count remaining 1-2. Crowd a little sparse right now, but they're starting to file in. It's a perfect day for baseball. No question about that. Smith gets a sign, and here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He gets Long swinging for the first out of the ball game here. And that'll bring up Deshaun Mays, the junior catcher for the Raiders. Mays hitting .259 with 10 runs batted in. He does lead the team in runs scored, tied for the league with 23 runs scored. Smith checking things with shortstop Jacob Belos, making sure everybody's lined up. Here we go. Here's Smith's first pitch to Mays. A little bit outside, ball 1. Game starting a little bit later than usual. It's usually a 5 o'clock start here. Today, of course, first pitch at 6. Next pitch, big swing and a miss, strike 1. 1-1 count on Deshaun Mays. Here's a delivery. Showing bunt down the third base line. Landon Locke lets it roll foul before he scoops it up, so it's a strike. 1-2 count. Well played by Locke. It was right down the line, but had just a little bit of tail on it and a curve foul. And Locke pounced on it to make sure it didn't roll back fair again because Mays has got good speed. So the count now 1-2. 1 out here, nobody on here in the top of the first inning. Smith gets the sign, goes into the line. Here's his 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, strike 3. Big swing. Smith, 2 strikeouts to get things started here in the first inning. And that'll bring up number 3 hitter Otis Stevens, the junior third baseman. Stevens hitting .354 on the season, leading the team in hitting. He also got a team best 19 runs batted in. He also leads the team with 7 doubles. Potent bat here in the 3 spot. Here's Smith's first pitch to Stevens. Breaking pitch up high, ball 1. Hey, the first inning sponsored by Carol Purdue, your local State Farm agent who supported Georgia Alabama Sports Live from the beginning. Hey, give her a call today as she's the biggest State Farm agent in East Alabama. She's got customers both sides of the river. And the pitch fouled off into the screen. Count now 1-1 on Otis Stevens. Smith's been taking care of business, so far. His big key, of course, staying in front of the hitters. He's been doing that. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Breaking pitch outside, ball 2. 2-1 count now. With the later start, the shadows are creeping onto the infield just a little bit. But, of course, this is Diamond Field with some of the best lights in the state of Georgia. 2-1. Ground ball up the middle, and it goes through for a base hit. Otis Stevens rolls the single up the middle. Extending the inning, Shaw is in business here with 2 outs in the first. And they'll bring up cleanup hitter Connor Dormany, the senior first baseman. Dormany hitting .350 on the year with 16 runs batted in. Big guy, dangerous bat. As for Stevens, they're going to have to keep an eye on him. He's got 21 stolen bases on the year. Smith out of the stretch. First pitch to Dormany. Strike 1. 0-1 count on senior Connor Dormany. Stevens not taking a huge lead down at first. Now he's creeping up a little bit closer to the green. Here's the 0-1. Chopped a little dribbler toward the mound. Smith pounces on it over to first. And he get Dormany by a step. So that ends the inning. And in the first inning, no runs on one hit, no errors, one runner left on base. After 1/2 innings, Shaw nothing, Pacelli coming to bat. You're watching the Beck Center Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long-distance love. For the far-sighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Going on right now at Glenn Smith and Opelika.
Enjoy huge savings on our complete lineup of GMC Sierras and GMC Terrains. Full-size and powerful GMC Sierra at $13,500 off.
Buy today and make no payments for 120 days.
Drive away in the stylish GMC Terrain as low as $395 a month. People from all over the USA buy from Glenn Smith Chevrolet.
Check us out 24/7 at glennsmith.com.
Get ready to smile.
Back at Dabble Field for the bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at the Pacelli batting order. And coming up to the plate, the big gun for the Vikings, leadoff hitter Cam Carino. The junior second baseman hitting .420. He's got 2 home runs and a dozen runs batted in. A lot of ribbies coming from that first spot. But he's come up with the big hits time and again. 6 doubles, 3 triples. I mean, his slugging percentage is .681. That ain't bad. Garcia gets the sign from Mays. Here's the first pitch to Carino. Outside, ball 1. Matt Ward coaching at third base for the Vikings. Jonathan Lawrence down in the first base coaching box. Here's the 1-0. Carino swinging up in the air to the right side, but it's out of play. Now that makes it count 1-1. One of Carino's home runs was a leadoff home run in the bottom of the first inning in a game versus Brookstone. He brings a lot of pop to the plate out of this number 1 spot. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Went chasing that one. So 1-2 count now on Carino. He'll have to try to protect the plate at this point. Mays goes into the Garcia into the line. Here's the pitch. Carino sending it to center field, but Long is in there to make the catch. Kingston Long hauling it in for the first out of the inning. That will bring up center fielder Nolan Vaughn, the junior. Vaughn hitting .237 on the year. He's got 1 home run and 7 runs batted in. Vaughn, a good man to be having put in the number 2 slot. Got a lot of speed. He definitely shows it out in the outfield. First pitch from Garcia. Up high. Oh, at the letters, strike 1. 0-1 count now on Nolan Vaughn. Garcia delivers. Vaughn swinging. Chased that one a little bit outside. Count now 0-2. Vaughn has to protect now. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swinging with strike 3 out on 3 pitches. So Boris Garcia gets his first strikeout of the game, and that will bring up shortstop Jacob Velos, the sophomore. Velos one of the big two hitters on this ball club. Velos now hitting .283 on the season with the team leading 16 runs batted in. He's also got a home run. He got off to a slow start because nobody was pitching to him. The first few games, he had one hit because he had walked a dozen times. First pitch, showing bunt, pulls it back. Pitch up high for ball one. Velos leading the team with 24 walks in 21 games. They've been pitching around him all season long. But when he gets his shot, he takes it. 1-0. Velos sends it to center field. He got a hold of that one, and that is gone. Jacob Velos. Solo home run to center field. And the Vikings are on the board. Celebration about to begin. Velos crossing the plate, his second home run of the season. A bomb to center field. And there he goes. Big celebration by the Vikings. They jump out to the early 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Velos lined it up and got all of that one, squared it up, sending it over the fence in center field past the 345 mark. Now stepping to the plate, cleanup hitter Dustin Sherman, senior first baseman. First pitch from Garcia. Sherman outside, ball one. Sherman hitting .183 on the year with one home run, 7 runs batted in. He's been coming with big hits as of late. Here's Garcia's 1-0. Now it's 2-0, way outside on that one. Vikings with one, they'd like to add to it. Here's the 2-0. That catches the letter, strike one. 2-1 count now. Got to be careful with Sherman. He's got good pop in that bat. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swinging up in the air, shallow center field. Both Longs correct. Converge on it. Kingston Long, the center fielder. Kingsley Long, shortstop, lets him have it. Kingston Long making a sliding catch to end the inning. In the inning, there's 1 run on 1 hit. No errors. Nobody left on base. At the end of 1, Pacelli 1, Shaw 0. You're watching the Beck Center Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Carol Perdue in Phoenix City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Going on right now at Glenn Smith and Opelika.
Both Chevy Silverado and Traverse are ready for you. Get supplier pricing today on all new Chevy Silverado 1500s with up to $13,500 off. Or get a loaded Traverse, the roomy Chevy SUV with third row seating, and enjoy up to $6,000 off.
Buy today and make no payments for 120 days.
Smart people from all over the USA buy from Glenn Smith Chevrolet.
Get ready to smile.
Hey, special thanks to Glenn Smith for being our original presenting sponsor. From day one, their unmatched support and commitment to our communities fueled our mission to bring you the very best in local sports coverage. We're proud to partner with them again as we kick off year 4 together. All right, for the Raiders, 5-6-7 due up in the inning. Leading things off will be left fielder Jordan McGee, the junior hitting .280 with the team leading 2 home runs and 14 runs batted in. Billy Smith on the mound. A good solid first inning, looking to follow with another good second. Here's the first pitch to McGee. Catches a corner, strike one. Nice job receiving by Alex Aponte, presenting the strike for a strike. Here's the 0-1. Up the middle, off the glove of Smith. Velos scoops it up, fires it to first. Sherman stretches, but McGee is able to beat the throw. An infield hit. Smith couldn't quite corral it, slowed it down. Velos did his best, charging in, scooping and throwing, and Sherman did a nice job on the stretch, but there wasn't anything they could do about that. McGee legs it out for a hit, and the Shaw Raiders are in business with the leadoff man getting on here in the top of the second. That'll bring up Dylan Lockhart. Lockhart hitting .292 on the season with 13 runs batted in. First pitch, Lockhart bunting, pops it up. out of play, directly behind home plate, strike one. Lockhart, a senior, playing right field today. He also plays on the corners first and third. Or excuse me, he plays first base as well. My apologies there. So here we go. Here's the 0-1 from Smith out of the stretch. Runner breaks. Aponte's throw down to second to Velos. Velos lays the tag on him. And Jordan McGee gunned by Alex Aponte. That's a 2-6 put out, and it's an 0-2 count on Dylan Lockhart. The Raiders love to steal. They've got at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 8 guys with multiple stolen bases on the year in 23 games. They like to run. They like to push it. They force you to make the play. And in this case, Aponte and Velos make the play. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Smith gets Lockhart on 3 pitches, his third strikeout of the game. And that'll bring up shortstop Kingsley Long, the senior. Long, dangerous out of the number 7 slot. He's hitting .310 on the year. He's got 1 home run and 10 runs batted in. 2 outs here. Vikings looking to close this thing out with no damage. Smith gets a sign from Aponte. The first pitch to Long. Swing and a miss, strike 1. That was a beautiful pitch on the outside corner. Billy's looking on today. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. You got a barbecue trailer out in the parking lot, and I can smell the charcoal and everything. I'm getting hungry just smelling that. There we go. The 0-2 fouled off. 85 South Barbecue, huh? Cool. Come on down to the ballpark. There's plenty of seats here. It's a perfect day for baseball. I mean, 73 at game time. Sunny day, nice breeze, feeling good. This is perfect April weather. Smith winding. Here's his 0-2. Swing and miss, strike 3. Throw it down to first just for fun. It looked close. Always throw to first. And that ends the inning. In the inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 1 1/2 innings, Pacelli 1, Shaw 0. You're watching the Beck Center Game of the Week on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
Bottom of the second inning, the Pacelli Vikings coming to bat, leading 1-0. 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up as the Vikings look to extend that 1-run lead. That 1 run, of course, coming off the bat of Jacob Velos, ripping a solo home run to center field in the bottom of the first inning. Our first look at what could be a Houlihan's play of the week, of course. Levi Thompson coming to the plate. He's DHing today, usually the starting catcher. Thompson hitting 161 with 8 runs batted in on the year. Got good pop in the bat, though. As here we go, bottom of the second. Boris Garcia on the mound. First delivery to Thompson. Swinging, ground ball towards second base. Scooped up by Isaiah Copeland over to first. And just like that, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. And that will bring up pitcher Billy Smith, the senior. Smith hitting 136 on the year with 3 runs batted in. Smith, a pretty good hitter. He starts at third base on occasion as well, but he's looked good on the mound today. Boris Garcia getting the sign from Deshaun Mays, and here's the first pitch to Smith. Breaking ball outside, ball one. Alex Aponte on deck for the Vikings. Trying to get something going here in the second, trying to extend the 1-0 lead. The pitch. Catches the corner, strike one. 1-1 count on Billy Smith. Garcia's looked pretty good out there. One mistake so far. That's it. Here's the 1-1. Smith, low. Thought about it, didn't go. 2-1 count now. As mentioned, Garcia, a left-hander, a lot of breaking stuff. Here's the 2-1. Swing and miss, strike two. Up high. Smith went after it. 2-2 count now. And the crowd's starting to really fill in now. Like to see that. The pitch. Outside. Count now full. So Smith working the count full here. Trying to see if he can get something going, help himself out. Garcia getting the sign. Here's the payoff pitch. Fouled out, or sent to the right side, foul, and it goes out of play. Made some contact with that one. Drove it pretty good. Count remaining 3-2. Take a break. Mays trotting back over to the dugout. Looks like they're going to swap out some equipment. Better mask and better helmet here. Of course, using the hockey mask, the goalkeeper's mask. They didn't have it back when I caught. I wish they had, because those hockey masks are great as catchers. You get great vision on both sides. The old school mask with the bars, it cut off your peripheral vision pretty badly. All right, Garcia winds. Here's the 3-2. Smith holds off and ball four. So Billy Smith trots down to first. Vikings in business with a runner in first and just one out. We'll see who comes out to run. And it looks like David Mann will get the call on this one. So David Mann will be the courtesy runner for the Vikings as Billy Smith heads back to the dugout. So Alex Aponte coming to the plate. He's a sophomore catching today. He also plays left field. Aponte hitting 163 on the year with a couple of runs batted in. Man, a pretty decent lead. Garcia over to first. He's got one of those lefty moves. You have to watch it. I never had problems with lefty moves. I wasn't on base enough, and I was too slow to take advantage of anything anyway. Man, on the other hand, looks like he's got pretty good speed, taking a decent lead. The pitch. Aponte swinging, fouls off toward the cars. Doesn't hit any. That's good. Count now 0-1 and Alex Aponte. As for Mann, he's got one stolen base on the year. That right foot is right on the edge of the green. The pitch. Swinging. Aponte fouling that one off to the right side again. So count now 0-2. That thud hit one of the storage buildings over there, one of the metal ones. 0-2 count now. Alex Aponte trying to see what he can do about advancing the runner here. The Vikings with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. Just one out here. The pitch. Taken up high. Ball one. Mays almost did a snap throw down to first, but Mann hadn't wandered that far off the bag. So count now 1-2 on Alex Aponte. I see some freshmen stirring for Pacelli. They got to go chase the foul balls. That's what freshmen are for, right? Next pitch, curveball, ball. Snap throw down to first. Not that close, but worth making the throw. So 2-2 count now on Alex Aponte. Man, again, taking a good lead off first. And the 2-2. Aponte, ground ball toward third. It's flagged down over to second for one. The relay, a little bit late. It's just a fielder's choice. But Otis Stevens scooped it up, got it over to Isaiah Copeland at second for the force out of Mann. Throw to first was not going to get Aponte. So now there's two outs of the runner on first, and that brings up Carter Dixon, the left fielder. Dixon, a junior. Mound Conference now. Matt Dormany out talking to plate umpire Shane Burks. I'm guessing, I'm wondering to see if they're talking about the relay throw from second. Maybe saying the runner came up too high and should have been an interference call. Nothing doing, of course. But if you're a manager, you go out there and you talk to the umpires, you plant ideas in their head so they start looking for it. Of course, the umpires are aware of those too. No secrets out here. Matt Ward now talking to Burks, getting his thoughts in. Everybody smiling, chuckling, and we're getting back to it. Again, Carter Dixon coming to the plate. Dixon hitting 125 in the year with 3 runs batted in. Runner in first, 2 outs here. Pacelli trying to see if they can get something going with 2 outs. First pitch swinging, strike 1. Little 2-out thunder never hurt. The Raiders, on the other hand, trying to keep this a 1-run game. So 0-1 count. Dixon stepping in, getting ready. Here's Garcia over to first. He had Connor Dormany full. Dormany had taken 1 step forward toward the plate. Those left-handed moves where you can kind of shuffle your feet around and do it legally without crossing over, doing anything that's a balk move. That's what makes left-handed pitchers dangerous if you're leading off first base. All right, 0-1 count. The pitch, showing bunt. Dixon dropping down to the right side of the pitcher. Garcia scoops it up over to first. Good defense by Garcia to get Dixon for the final out of the inning. It was a good bunt, though. Just didn't quite work out. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left on base. At the end of 2, Pacelli 1, Shaw nothing. You're watching the Beck Center Game of the Week on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
Hi, my name is Griff Gordy, and here at Gordy Eye Care, we have been serving the Bi-City community for 17 years. As a former state championship quarterback, I love the fact that I can watch local high school athletics from the comfort of my own home. So it was a no-brainer to support Georgia, Alabama Sports Live and what they do for young athletes in our area.
And without business like yourself, Gordy Eye Care, none of our coverage would be possible. To be able to cover the 16 different high schools, the local colleges, and professional teams. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Dr. Griff Gordy, and Gordy Eye Care for your support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And then you can make an appointment today at Gordy Eye Care with the number 334-291-5125. Keep supporting Gordy Eye Care and keep watching Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Hey, Coca-Cola, proud presenting sponsor on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. Their deep connection to our schools and dedication to youth sports makes them the perfect partner for us. As for the Raiders here in the top of the 3rd inning, it's 8-9-1 due up. Isaiah Copeland, second baseman, leading off. First pitch from Smith. Copeland lines it into left field for a base hit. I didn't even get a chance to say that Copeland came in the game hitting .267 with 5 ribbies. Now you know, and now you know he's on first base. First pitch swinging. The Raiders getting the leadoff man on again this inning. Pitcher Boris Garcia now stepping up to the plate. Garcia, a left-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter, the sophomore. He's hitting 154 with a couple of runs batted in. Isaiah Copeland leading off with 6 stolen bases on the year, taking a big lead. First pitch, Garcia takes it for ball 1. Billy Smith's looked good so far. In his 2 innings, given up 3 hits, but he struck out 4. Smith's been trying to stay ahead of the hitters. Here's his 1-0 delivery. Swinging, sent to left field. Carter Dixon underneath, fighting the sun, making the catch for out number 1. Pitching to contact, getting the out. Smith pitching very efficiently. I mean, the ninth inning, in the second inning, he only threw 9 pitches to get through the inning, and included 2 strikeouts. And in this inning, 5 pitches, 1 out already. All right, Kingston Long coming up to the plate. Long struck out in the first inning in his first at bat. Long, left-handed hitter. Smith out of the stretch. And the delivery. A little bit outside, trying to go for the outside corner. Doesn't quite hit it. 1-0 count. As I mentioned, Copeland taking a pretty good lead off at first. Can't quite see if his right foot is onto the green or not. Not quite. It's a solid lead, not a huge lead. Swing in center field. Nolan Vaughn took about 2 steps. It was right at him, and that is out number 2. Hey, fly balls like that are tough when they're right at you. It's kind of hard to judge exactly how hard it's been hit. If you have lateral motion, some lateral movement, he can pick it up. Vaughn, 1 step forward, 1 step back, reach up, make the catch. 2 outs now here. In the third, Deshaun Mays coming to plate. Mays struck out in his first at bat. Isaiah Copeland on first with 2 outs now. Smith trying to get out of this thing with no damage. The pitch to Mays, outside, ball 1. They're keeping an eye on Copeland. Again, Shaw loves to run. They've stolen over 175 bases this year. Out of the stretch, Smith's 1-0. Ground ball to short. Velos flips it over to Carino for the out, and that is that. Another quick inning for the Vikings. In the inning, no runs on 1 hit. No errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 2 1/2 innings, Pacelli not 1, Shaw nothing. You're watching the Beck Center Game of the Week on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
Planet Fitness Black Card, you can bring a friend anytime and so much more when you join today.
I'm bringing my other half.
I'm bringing the pep talk.
Come on!
I'm clearing my head.
And I'm clearing 300.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Get all the perks with a PF Black Card for $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Join in club or online today. Deal ends soon. See club for details.
Head to the bottom of the third inning. Pacelli holds a 1-0 lead over Shaw. Hey, don't forget, we're going to hand out the Alex 20 Allstate Good Hands Player of the Game when this ball game is over with. A lot of baseball yet to be played, but this has been a stellar ball game so far. Both teams looking good out there defensively, good pitching, good hitting. Just a solid ball game here. And for the Vikings, it is 9-1-2 due up this inning. Aiden Dixon will be the guy leading this thing off, the sophomore right fielder. Dixon has shown a good glove out there. Now here's the deal. He's only hitting 0.50, but he's got 3 runs batted in. That 1 hit I know he got drove in a pair of runs, big runs, in a ball game earlier this season. Scored 6 runs on the year as well. So Dixon coming to the plate, trying to get things started. Shaw's infield. The infielders gathering around Boris Garcia. Pressure to Shaw Mays out there, too. They're getting together, making sure everybody's on the same page. It's a 1-0 contest. And as I mentioned, the Raiders, 14-10 of the year, but 9-2 in region play. They've got a couple of big gigs coming up later in next week, but they can sew up at least first-round home field advantage in the playoffs. You know, the Vikings trying to get something going, try to put something together here late in the season. The first pitch to Aiden Dixon. Bunting. Down the first base line. Garcia pounces on it over to first base. They get Dixon by a step. So that is the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up the top of the order. Cam Carino coming to the plate. The junior flew out to center field in his first at bat in the first inning. Carino, the one of 2 wildly dangerous hitters in this Vikings lineup. Garcia winds his first pitch to Carino. Slow pitch, driven to center field, but not quite enough oomph on that. Kingston Long hauling it in. 2 pitches, 2 outs for Garcia here in the second, and that'll bring up Nolan Vaughn, the center fielder. Vaughn struck out in his first at bat. The Vikings he's only thrown 2 pitches this inning. The Vikings are going to want to try to stretch this one out if they can. Give Billy Smith a little bit of rest. Garcia gets the sign. First pitch to Vaughn. Big looping curve up high, ball 1. 1-0 count on Nolan Vaughn. Sun's starting to set out there and it turns left field and the left side of the infield into serious sun fields. Here's the 1-0. In the dirt, ball 2. 2-0 count now on Nolan Vaughn. Vaughn's worked 13 walks on the season. Right now he's looking to see what he can do about getting one of those good at-bats going. The 2-0. Taken, strike 1. Breaking pitch. Perfect. 2-1 count now. Jacob Velos on deck for the Vikings. Vaughn would love to get on and try to set the table, see if Velos can put a little more thunder like he did in the first inning. Here's a 2-1. In the dirt. 3-1 count now. This is the hitter's count. Vaughn can afford to be picky. Garcia gets the sign. The 3-1. Vaughn swinging, fouls it off the fists. And a count now 3-2. Garcia, big breath, gets the sign from Mays. Goes into the line. Here's the payoff. Vaughn swinging off the fist, foul, right side. Will it stay in play? It does, but nobody can catch up to it. Isaiah Copeland, who was the closest, he had to sprint a long way from second base. That was out there pretty deep in right field foul territory. Wasn't anybody was going to be able to get that one. Did not have enough sky on that one. So the count remains 3-2. 2 pitches, 2 out. Vaughn stretching the inning out a little bit. This will be the 7th pitch to Vaughn. Garcia winds and delivers. Vaughn outside, ball 4. So Vaughn works the walk, keeps the inning alive, and here comes Jacob Velos. The sophomore in the first inning got all the one, sent it deep to dead center, and gone. A solo shot that gave the Vikings their run. Now with a run with a man on, he'd love to see if he can triple that thing. Vaughn with 2 home runs on the season. And the team leading 17 runs batted in. They're going to be careful with him. Meanwhile, Vaughn with good speed on first. 9 stolen bases. Throw over to first. He got away from Dormany, but not very far. Dormany's really good. I was watching him at infield. He's really good at scoops. He's a really good defensive first baseman. So here we go. Garcia in the stretch, the pitch. Catches the corner for strike 1. We'll see what happens here with 2 outs and 0-1 count. Will they send Vaughn? That's the question. Garcia gets the sign, comes set. Over to first. Vaughn scrambling back. Those left-handed moves to first. They're tricky. I mean, a right-handed hitter or right-handed pitcher's got to whirl. The left-hander just got to lean. The 0-1. Vaughn goes. The throw down to second, not even close. Kingsley Long managed to knock it down. Vaughn with the stolen base, his 10th of the year. So the Vikings with a runner in scoring position here with 2 outs. Vaughn with excellent speed, to say the least. Remember, Vaughn is the defensive back in football, and I think he led if I remember correctly, he may have led the team in interceptions. So he's a good athlete, a guy who's he's fleet of foot, as they say. Velos can get the ball in play and drop it in for a hit. It should mean a run. So the Vikings with a great opportunity, despite the fact there's 2 outs. So here we go. 1-1 count on Jacob Velos. Garcia gets the sign. Comes set. And the delivery. Velos swinging, send it to the right side, shallow right field. But Dylan Lockhart is there, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. So in the inning, no runs on no hits. There was no errors, but there was one runner left on base. At the end of 3, Pacelli 1, Shaw nothing. You're watching the Beck Center Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Vision's morning show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Vision's morning show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Vision's morning show, and download the Sports Vision's radio app right now in your app store today.
Sports Vision 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
Houlihan serves fresh, handcrafted dishes made just the way you like them. Juicy burgers, sizzling steaks, crisp salads, and shareable appetizers set the table for every appetite. Relax with friends, celebrate special moments, or enjoy a casual night out. Houlihan's delivers great food, great drinks, and great times, with 2 locations in Columbus, downtown at the Marriott Hotel and on Sidney Simons Boulevard at the Doubletree Hotel.
Back to Diamond Field, top of the 4th inning. Pacelli with a 1-0 lead. Hey, Boris Garcia in the bottom of the 3rd did a great job pitching to Velos. What Velos finally hit it was a good pitch, but it was Garcia's pitch. He didn't let him barrel it up like he did in the 1st inning. Garcia's done a really good job out of the mound, making just one mistake. Billy Smith's done even better, of course, throwing just 31 pitches through the first 3 innings, giving up 3 hits, but one of them was an infield hit. He's kept the Raiders at bay, but stayed ahead of the count. He struck out 4 strikeouts so far. Leading things off, Otis Stevens. Stevens singled to first in the 1st inning. First pitch breaking ball outside of the dirt, ball 1. Yeah, and that first at bat, Stevens rolled it up the middle, just perfect. Got on base. Smith, of course, got out of that one. The 1-0. Stevens takes a strike on the corner, painted the black with that one right at the knees. Perfect pitch from Smith. Smith has stayed ahead of the count the whole way long. Here's the 1-1. Strike 2 on the black again. Alex Sapani doing a good job back there receiving. Remember, as a catcher, you have to present it to the umpire. It's a strike. 1-2. The wind of the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him to chase. So another strikeout by Billy Smith, his 5th of the afternoon, and that'll bring up Connor Dormany. Dormany, the cleanup hitter. Grounded out on a comebacker to end the 1st inning in his 1st at bat. Dormany dangerous, hitting .350 coming into the game with 16 ribbies. They're aware of what he presents. Smith's first pitch to Dormany. Fastball on the corner, strike 1. 0-1 count. The pitch. Catches the corner again. Strike 2. Nice little tail on that fastball. 0-2 count. Smith's thrown 36 pitches. He's only thrown 8 balls in 37 pitches. Only thrown 8 balls. He has been right on target. The 0-2. A little bit outside. That's what you want. You want to see if you can get the hitter to expand the zone. Dormany holds off. Good pitch. Good hitting by Dormany. 1-2 count now. On Shaw's cleanup hitter. Smith gets the sign from Mapani. The delivery. Breaking ball. Strike 3. He froze Dormany with that breaking ball. Perfect. Strikeout number 6 by Smith. He's been putting on a clinic so far today. As we go now to Jordan McGee, left fielder. McGee singled in the 2nd. Hit a comebacker up the middle that Smith couldn't quite flag down. It slowed it down enough, and he beat the throw from Jacob Velos with good speed. First pitch from Smith. Swinging up in the air, left center field. Who's got this one? Nolan Vaughn says, mine. And it is indeed his, and that is indeed the inning. in the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. At the end of 3 1/2 innings, Pacelli 1, Shaw nothing. You're watching the Beck Center Game of the Week on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live wants to say thank you to Zaxby's for their continued partnership with us for over the last couple of years since we started this. Your partnership has meant the world for us to give you premier coverage for all the local sporting events around the Chattahoochee Valley area. And specifically, I want to thank Judson Humphreys, my good friend, and the Phoenix City location, being with us from the very beginning, man.
Absolutely. Well, we just appreciate what y'all do in the community for these student athletes, and we just want to be a part of it.
Whether it's tailgating, parties, or you just want a quick bite to eat, come to the Phoenix City Zaxby's location and tell them Georgia Alabama Sports Live and Thrift sent you. Thank you again to Judson Humphreys and Zaxby's for our continued partnership on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Going on right now at Glenn Smith and Opelika.
Enjoy huge savings on our complete lineup of GMC Sierras and GMC Terrains. Full-size and powerful GMC Sierra at $13,500 off.
Buy today and make no payments for 120 days.
Drive away in the stylish GMC Terrain as low as $395 a month. People from all over the USA buy from Glenn Smith Chevrolet.
Check us out 24/7 at glennsmith.com.
Get ready to smile. Hey, from the sidelines to surgery, Houston Clinic, a proud presenting sponsor on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, keeps athletes in the game. And this has been a good game. These athletes have been playing well. 1-0, Pacelli leading here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Both pitchers have been stellar. The one big hit, of course, a solo home run in the 1st inning by Jacob Velos. That big rip to center field. And for Pacelli, it's the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up. Dustin Sherman will lead things off. Sherman's got some power. He flew out to center field to end the 1st inning in his first at bat. Boris Garcia with his first pitch to Sherman. Outside, ball 1. Garcia doesn't have great speed, but he's shown good break on his pitches, moved the ball around well, and hasn't really grooved anything except one. Here's the 1-0 in the dirt, ball 2. 2-0 count. Pacelli looking to be a little more picky. Did a lot of first pitch hitting and swinging in the last inning. 2-0 count on Dustin Sherman. Garcia in the line. Here's the delivery. Sherman takes it for a strike. 2-1 count. And the throw goes over the head of Garcia. They got to chase this thing down. The shadow's starting to get a little bit longer now. Again, a 6 o'clock start to this ball game. Usually it's been a 5 o'clock start this season. So the shadows are already about to reach out to left field. Here's Garcia's 2-1. Ground ball toward third. Stevens, two-hopper, over to first, and he gets Sherman by 2 steps. We're out number 1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That'll bring up designated hitter Levi Thompson. The junior grounded out to second, back in the 2nd inning. What a gorgeous day. It doesn't get much better than this one. But the entire infield now pretty much in shade. Here's Garcia's first pitch to Thompson. Thompson takes it, ball 1. The ball's going from the shade to the sun, which makes it a little trickier. The fact that Garcia is more of a soft tosser does help to some degree. It's now 2-0. That pitch up high and outside. Thompson, this is a good hitter's count now, 2-0. Garcia's got to come in with it. Let's see what happens. He doesn't. Outside, ball 3. 3-0 count now on Levi Thompson. As the sun sets and you can still smell that barbecue. The 3-0. In the dirt, ball 4. So Thompson walks on 4 pitches. Vikings in business here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That'll bring up pitcher Billy Smith. Smith, in his first at-bat back in the 2nd inning, walked. That was the first of the 3 walks that Garcia has surrendered so far today. Garcia's first pitch to Smith. Smith thinks about it, doesn't pull the trigger. It's a strike up at the letters, strike 1. Thompson leading off first. He hasn't got any stolen bases this season, but he's got a decent lead out there. Of course, he's a catcher. They usually run for him. He's going to get his chance to show what he can do on the bases. That one outside. 1-1 count now on Billy Smith. Thompson with decent speed. He's also an outfielder, not just a catcher. The 1-1. Smith swinging, sends it to center field. Long runs under it, makes the catch. Thompson trots back to first base. That is out number 2 here in the 4th. And they'll bring up Alex Aponte. Aponte grounded into a fielder's choice back in the 2nd inning. Aponte getting a shot at catching. This season when he's been playing, he's either been pinch hitting mostly or playing left field. Ponte with some pop in the bat, and they know it. First pitch. Ponte takes it. Curveball, strike 1. Left fielder, center fielder playing a little on the deep side with Thompson. They know that he can, or with Aponte, they know he got some pop in the bat. Aponte sending to center field, and it dunks in for the base hit. So the Vikings with 2 runners on here with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Carter Dixon. It looks like Greg Carter will go in to run as a courtesy runner for Aponte.
Number 18, Carter Dixon.
Dixon hit a comebacker to end the 2nd inning. Here's Carter's chance to do some damage here. Dixon with 3 runs batted in on the season. He would dearly love to add to that. Garcia gets the sign from Mays. Comes set. The pitch. Cued off the end of the bat for strike. 0-1 now on Carter Dixon. Junior with a tailor-made opportunity. Thompson, decent speed for a catcher at second base. You put it in play, remember, he's going to be off on contact. Garcia stepping off, everybody stepping back out, resetting. So here we go. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 0-2 count now on Dixon. The sun is now really low. It's at low at eye level. So the third baseman and the left fielder, it's going to be really tough. It's tough dealing with Hoppers to third at this point with where the sun is. The 0-2. Cued off the end of the bat again. Foul. He stays alive. Count remaining 0-2. Again with 2 outs, putting it into play, trying to get it to sneak. You can sneak it in. Maybe bring a run home. Thompson on second. Carter on first. The pitch. Swinging, popped up right side. Will it stay in play? And the answer is yes, it will. Connor Dormany hauls it in foul territory, and that is the inning. So in the inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. At the end of 4, Pacelli 1, Shaw nothing. You're watching the Beck Center Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Carol Purdue in Phoenix City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
5th inning, back at Diamond Field. Somebody got some barbecue nachos. Oh, they smell so good. I just had dental work. I can't have them yet. The day's coming. All right. So for Shaw, coming up are the 6, 7, 8 hitters. The Raiders trying to break through against Billy Smith, who has pitched a whale of a ball game, throwing just 40 pitches through the first 4 innings. Dylan Lockhart leading things off. Lockhart struck out in his first at bat. First pitch, bunts it Down the third baseline, rolls foul. Landon Locke scooping it up to make sure it doesn't roll back the other way. So it is strike one. Let me double check that. Yeah, Smith has thrown 41 pitches now. He's only thrown 9 balls. He has been on target. He's been moving around the zones, changing speeds, changing planes. That's how you get outs as a pitcher. Plus, he's got a pretty good steam on his fastball. That doesn't hurt anything. All right, 0-1 count. Smith winds. Here's the delivery. Fouled off toward the dugout. Matt Ward can't quite make the bare hand catch, but he keeps it in front of him. That's the way to do it, Coach. So count out 0-2. Smith working quickly. When you know where the ball is going, you're a lot happier to let go of it. The 0-2 pitch. Outside, ball one. He couldn't quite get Lockhart to chase. That pitch was where he wanted it. So 1-2 count. Smith gets the sign. Here comes that 1-2 delivery. Ground ball up the middle. Velo scoops it up over to Sherman at first, and that is out number 1 of the inning. Nice play by Jacob Velo. Smooth as silk on that one. Rounding off, throw to first, getting him by 2 steps. Out number 1, and that brings up Kingsley Long. The shortstop, the senior, struck out in his first at-bat. Long, a dangerous hitter. Came into the game hitting 304. Or no, excuse me. He came in hitting 310. His brother came in hitting 304. Both Longs are dangerous, to say the least. Billy Smith wants a different baseball. As we get things going. 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. A 1-0 contest. Well-pitched, well-played game so far. Smith gets the sign from Aponte. Here's first pitch. Long swing and strike 1. Big swing on the fastball. 0-1 count. Here's the 0-1. Up and in. Did he go? No. He didn't move that much, but as a catcher, you've got to ask. You've got to do the appeal because you never know. Lightning does strike. It is now 7 o'clock as the bells ring. 1-1 pitch grounded to short. Velo scoops it up. Again, Lightning throw to first. In the dirt. Nice scoop. Nice scoop there by Dustin Sherman for the out. The 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning bring up Isaac Copeland, the second baseman. And you can hear the bells ringing from St. Anne's at the 7 o'clock hour here. Smith looking to reel off in a second straight 1-2-3 inning. Copeland singled to left field in his first at bat. Smith winds, and here's the delivery. Curveball outside, or big swing there. Breaking pitch. Good break on that one, too. Strike 1. Perfect curveball. Here's the 0-1. Outside, 1-1 count. 1-1 on Isaiah Copeland. 2 outs here in the 5th. A 1-run game. Every swing is big, every pitch is big. It's a 1-run game. Let's face it. The delivery. Strike right at the knees, right on the outside corner. Another perfect pitch from Smith. He has been on target all afternoon long. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Breaking ball. Got Copeland to chase. Wow, perfect pitch, and that ends the inning. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. At the end of 4 1/2 innings, Pacelli won, Shaw nothing. You are watching the Beck Center Game of the Week on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
Step into history at Millhouse Kitchen and Bar. Nestled along the Chattahoochee River, Millhouse is more than a restaurant. It's a dining experience. Enjoy Southern classics with a bold twist, river views, impeccable ambience, and exceptional service. Join us for dinner or cocktails and see for yourself. Reserve your table online at nullhouseatcityknolls.com.
Back to Dynamo Field for the bottom of the fifth inning. Pacelli with a 1-0 lead. Hey, make sure you follow Georgia Alabama Sports Live on all social media platforms for the latest updates on local sports in our area. Don't miss a game. Subscribe to all our pages today. This game's worth subscribing to. Both teams have played stellar baseball. You go to the bottom of the fifth, a 1-0 contest. Both pitchers have done a great job out there. Boris Garcia making the only mistake we've seen all day long by anybody. For Pacelli, they want to add to this 1-0 lead because 1-0 is very tenuous, to say the least. 9-1-2 due up in the inning. Aiden Dixon will lead things off. Dixon grounded out on a comebacker back in the third inning. Boris Garcia, just 57 pitches through the first four. He's done a good job. First pitch to Dixon, up high, ball one. Garcia's a sophomore. That home run, by the way, was the first earned run he's given up all season long. Here's the 1-0. Outside, ball two. 2-0 count. I've been impressed with Garcia, to say the least. He's had good location. He's moved the ball around well, and he hasn't left it hanging over the plate for the most part. And that pitch catches the corner for a strike. 2-1 count. Aiden Dixon trying to get on base and get things going here for the Vikings. They'd like a little more than one run here. Garcia winds. Here's his 2-1. Up high, up in the eyes. Ball three. 3-1 count. This is a hitter's count. Aiden Dixon love to pick something out here. Here's Garcia's 3-1. It's up there at the letters. Breaking pitch dropped in for the strike. So it's full count now. And here's the payoff. Swinging, sent to center field. Kingston Long underneath, making the catch for out number one. So one out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Top of the order coming up for the Vikings. Cam Carino coming to the plate. Carino's gotten good one on the ball both times, but both times it's hung up long enough for Kingston Long to come up with a catch out in center field. Carino, most dangerous hitter in the lineup, trying to get things started here with one out in the fifth, trying to add to that 1-0 lead. Boris Garcia winding. The first pitch to Carino. Carino showing bunt, pulls it back. It's outside, ball one. Carino with great speed, of course. 19 stolen bases, leads the team. He can leg it out, but remember also in football he was a running back. Here's the 1-0. Takes it outside, ball two. 2-0 count on Cam Carino. Sun getting a little lower and a little lower. The third baseman is still in the sun field, however. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Carino off the end of the bat, into the screen for a strike. 2-1 count now. Nolan Vaughn on deck, looking to see hoping to get a shot at doing something good. Carino trying to set the table at least, if not clean the table. The 2-1 from Garcia. Swinging, fouled off into the screen for a strike. 2-2 count now. Carino goes into plate protection mode. Garcia getting the sign from Deshaun Mays. He winds the delivery in the dirt, ball three. So now we have a full count. Full count on Cam Carino. Here's the payoff. Carino swinging off the end of the bat. Foul. Stays alive. Count still full. Decent, really good crowd going here now. And they're into this one. There's been a lot to enjoy in this ball game. 3-2. And the Vikings enjoying that one. Ball four. So Carino walks. Working to walk, making Garcia throw a few pitches in the process. So man on first with one out. Nolan Vaughn coming to the plate. Vaughn Mound conference here. Matt Dormady coming out to talk to Boris Garcia. Is he going to make a pitching change? That's the question. Talking to a sophomore. Talking him through all this, settling him down. I mean, he's only thrown 69 pitches. He's done a really nice job. He has been efficient with his pitches, to say the least. I've been impressed for sure. Excuse me, he's at the 70-pitch mark. Matt Dormady going on back. Raiders trotting back out there to get things set back up. Runner on first with just one out here in the bottom of the fifth in a one-run ball game. Every pitch is big. Vaughn struck out in the first, but he walked and stole second in the third base. The steal, of course, his 10th stolen base of the year. As for Carino, he's got 19 steals on the season, leads the team. And Garcia over to first to Dormady. They don't even bother trying to put a tag on him. Carino had a big lead. He got back there real quick anyway. Again, great speed. Carino, the junior, with great speed. 1 foot on the green. Pitch, Vaughn showing bunt. Snap throw down to first. Carino scampers back easily. The count 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Carino breaks. Nothing doing. He had the base stolen. Mace juggled it just a little bit, but Carino got such a huge jump. He had that one stolen. That's number 20 on the year for Cam. So now the Vikings with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. And the 2-0 pitch to Nolan Vaughn. Vaughn takes it for ball 3 up high, a little bit out of the zone. So it's a 3-0 count on Vaughn. And on deck, Jacob Velos. This is tailor-made for the Vikings to try to open up a bigger lead than this 1-0 advantage they have. 3-0, taken all the way, ball 4. So runners now in first and second, 2 fast runners on base for Jacob Velos. Velos has had himself a pretty good day. In the first inning, he barreled one up and buried it into the trees over the center field wall for that 1 run on the scoreboard for the Vikings. He also flew out to right field in the third inning. So here we go. First and second. This is the big at bat here, as far as Boris Garcia is concerned. He's done a good job staying out of trouble in this one, but trouble has definitely found him here in the 5th inning. First and second, 1 out, with Jacob Velos at the plate. Garcia comes set. First pitch to Velos. Velos takes it on the outside corner for strike 1. Perfect pitch from Garcia. Both pitchers have been painting the black on the outside corner all day long. Here's the 0-1. Way outside. Velos thought about it, but he couldn't pull the trigger on that, so it's a 1-1 count. Kingsley Long is kind of shadowing Carino over there at second base, leaving a big hole at short. The pitch, outside, ball 2, 2-1 count. The Raiders shading over to keep Cam Carino close at their own peril. There's a big wide open gap over there in the shortstop with Long playing practically behind second base. Garcia steps off, fakes the throw to second. Carino not taking a huge lead. He's still on the red. Long still behind him at second. Again, Garcia whirls, doesn't throw. No point. Carino wasn't going anywhere. Velos waiting patiently. Here's the 2-1. He takes it a little bit low, a little bit inside. 3-1 count. This is the hitter's count now. Velos, big grin on his face. He's ready. Garcia, big pitch for Garcia. He's been making the big pitches when he's had to. Will he do it again? 3-1 delivery. Outside ball 4. So Velos walks for the 25th time this season. But that loads the bases. And that brings Dustin Sherman to the plate. Sherman flew out to center in the first and grounded to third in the 4th inning. Sherman's got 1 home run, 7 runs batted in. This is tailor-made again for him to add to that Ribby lead. He's got good power. the shadows, the left fielder is going to have to back out. He's still going to be in the sun, barely. Third baseman's still in the sun as the sun sets. First pitch to Sherman. Catches the outside corner, strike one. Lots of speed on the bases. Carino on third, Vaughn on second, Velos on first. A gapper would have people running for days. Garcia trying to keep it from happening. Here's his 0-1. On the outside corner, strike two. Perfect pitch from Garcia. Both pitchers have been living on the black on the outside corner. Again, this has been a great pitchers matchup. Here's the 0-2 to Sherman. Swing, sent to right field, and it falls in fair, and it goes to the corner. Carino comes in to score. Here comes Vaughn. Velos on his heels. The double clears the bases. Dustin Sherman, 3-run triple to right field. The Vikings take a 4-0 lead, and that could very well be your Houlihan's play of the week. Dustin Sherman coming up big, taking the pitch where it is thrown, going oppo with it, and dropping it right on the inside of the foul line out in right field. With 3 fleet runners like that, you knew runs were coming home. And that will end the day for Garcia. So let's take a break. You are watching the Beck Center Game of the Week on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live wants to say thank you to Zaxby's for their continued partnership with us for over the last couple of years since we started this. Your partnership has meant the world for us to give you premier coverage for all the local sporting events around the Chattahoochee Valley area. And specifically, I want to thank Judson Humphreys, my good friend, and the Phoenix City location, being with us from the very beginning, man.
Absolutely. Well, we just appreciate what y'all do in the community for these student athletes, and we just want to be a part of it.
Whether it's tailgating, parties, or you just want a quick bite to eat, come to the Phoenix City Zaxby's location and tell them Georgia Alabama Sports Live and Thrift sent you. Thank you again to Judson Humphreys and Zaxby's for our continued partnership on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
To Dynamo Field, pitching change for the Shaw Raiders. Connor Dorminey, the senior first baseman, coming in to take over for Boris Garcia. For Dorminey, this is his 7th appearance. He is 2-0 in the season. The team best 2.90 earned run average. 9 innings pitched, 9 hits, 7 runs, only 4 of them earned. He's walked 7 and struck out 11, giving up just 1 home run. Hitters hitting .257 off of him. So Dorminey coming in trying to slam the door before it gets any worse. The Vikings with that big 3-run double from Dustin Sherman to take a 4-0 lead. As for Boris Garcia, a great outing. He went 4 1/3 innings, giving up 3 hits. He's given up 4 runs, but Sherman is still his responsibility. He struck out 1, but he walked 6. The 6 walks are what got him. 3 walks here in the 5th inning, setting things up for Sherman to drop in that double. Just absolutely perfect spot for it. So the Vikings taking not quite command, but a lot better. They're in a lot better shape than they were just about 2 minutes ago with a 4-0 lead on Shaw. The big hits, it's situational hitting, and Dustin Sherman coming up with that situational hit. Levi Thompson looking to see what he can do to add to it. He would love to trade spots with Sherman. Sherman, by the way, now has 10 runs batted in on the season. Another one of those big hits. He's been coming up with the big hits lately. And Connor Dorminey, as I mentioned, a senior, son of head coach Matt Dorminey. Great first baseman, especially defensively. He's a cleanup hitter as well. One of the leaders on this Shaw squad that is looking to at least clinch home field advantage in the first round of the Georgia High School playoffs over the next couple of weeks. Vikings looking to come up with this big non-region victory, get a little momentum going into next week. Now the Vikings next week They get back into district play. Next week, they'll be taking on Calvary Christian. Let me look at the map. You know what? They will not be taking a Calvary Christian for 2 weeks. They've got 2 weeks before region play gets back into it. But getting set up like this, getting a little momentum, because I'll play Carver next week now on the 15th. And then the following week it's Calvary Christian and then Strong Rock. The last two district series of the year. So here we go. Levi Thompson stepping up the plate. Thompson grounded to second and walked in his 2 plate appearances. Connor Dormany coming in trying to close the door before any more damage is done to the Raiders. Here's Dormany's first pitch to Thompson. In the dirt, ball 1. Sherman taking a nice lead off of second base there. He's got a couple of stolen bases. Not sure they'd send him to third at this point, but you never know. Dormany comes set, the 1-0. Inside, ball 2, 2-0 count. Matt Ward telling Thompson, good hard contact. That's what they're looking for. 2-0 count. This is a hitter's count. And he catches the corner. Perfect pitch. Had a little tail, fastball, a little tail on it. Didn't look good. Strike 1. 2-1 count on Levi Thompson. Billy Smith on deck, smiling after getting a little more support. Pitch in the dirt, outside, ball 3. 3-1 count. Yeah, Billy Smith's walking around a little bit better after that 3-run hit. Now suddenly he's got 4 runs to work with. Connor Dormany comes set. Here is the 3-1 pitch to Levi Thompson. Thompson takes it, ball 4. So runners now on first and second with 1 out, and Billy Smith coming to the plate. Smith walked in the second and flew out in the 4th inning. He's got a chance to add to the lead. Smith came into the game with 3 runs batted in. He wouldn't mind a 4th or more. Meanwhile, Connor Dormany trying to get the Raiders out of this jam. First pitch to Smith. Smith swinging, ground to the third base line, just foul. Stevens making a nice backhanded grab on him, but it was already gone into foul territory. That would have been a run had it stayed fair. So the count now 0-1. Dormany gets the sign from Mays. Comes set. Wheels. No throw to second. Sherman really wasn't that far off the base, though Isaiah Copeland was trotting in just in case. Copeland kind of shading over towards second. Sherman's got a decent lead now. Pitch. Smith sending it down to third base to Stevens. Stevens stepping on the bag, over to first for the double play, and the throw gets away from the first baseman. So runners will get a second, and then the throw to second gets away. It rolls into the outfield. Here comes Levi Thompson. He comes in to score. So a couple of errors helping out the Vikings as another run comes home. The throw over to first got away and allowed Thompson to go to third base, and then they threw it again. First baseman tracked it down. The first base right now, that's Dylan Lockhart at first. Lockhart, his throw back to second base went awry. And so a run comes in, and the Vikings with a runner on second. Ground ball by Mpani to short. It is booted by the shortstop. We'll see if they call that one a hit. He really wasn't going to have much of a play on it at all. Long had to try to backhand it, and it kind of skipped away from him.
Of the bat, number 18, Carter Dixon.
All right. They're going to call that one an error. The runner does not advance, however. So here we go. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Carter Dixon at the plate. Dixon grounded out in the second and hit a foul pop-up in the 4th. Dormany comes set, the 0-1. Dixon sends it in the air to left field. Chasing it down and making the catch is Jordan McGee, but the damage is done. The Vikings with 4 runs on 1 hit. There were 2 errors in the inning and 2 runners left on base. So at the end of 5, Pacelli 4, Shaw nothing. You're watching the Beck Center Game of the Week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you can bring a friend anytime and so much more when you join today.
I'm bringing my other half.
I'm bringing the pep talk. Come on! I'm clearing my head.
And I'm clearing 300.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Get all the perks with the PF Black Card for $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Join in club or online today. Deal ends soon. See club for details.
Back at Diamond Field, top of the 6th inning, Pacelli has just expanded her lead to 4-0 over Shaw. Hey, don't forget, we're going to name our Alex 20 Allstate Good Hands Player of the Game when this bad boy's over with. There's a couple of folks who put their name in the hat. Billy Smith for one, Dustin Sherman for another. It's been a stellar performance by the Vikings. Starting pitcher Boris Garcia had a great outing other than his 6 walks. His 6 walks is what killed him. Garcia ended up giving him 4 earned runs on that. The 5th run, of course, the Vikings came up with. It's 5-0. That 4th run that they came up with last inning was unearned, of course. So here we go. Shaw coming to the plate. Garcia will lead things off. Garcia technically the designated hitter at this point. He came in listed as a pitcher and DH at the beginning of the game. First pitch from Billy Smith. Garcia off the bat handle, grounds at the 3rd. Landon Lauck over to first base. Sherman making the catch. And just like that, on 1 pitch, 1 out, Billy Smith continues to cruise. That'll bring up the top of the order in Kingston Long. Long has struck out and flown out in his 2 plate appearances. The Vikings are going to close this thing. Top of the 6th. The Raiders need to get something going and something quick. First pitch, Long. A little bit up, ball 1. 1-0 count. Billy Smith, in his 6th inning of work, has thrown just 53 pitches. Next pitch, strike on the black outside. He has been painting the black all day long. 1-1 count. Smith gets the sign and rocks and fires. Long ground ball right side through the infield for a base hit. So Kingston Long singling to right field. The Raiders are in business here in the top of the 6th inning. That'll bring up Deshaun Mays. Mays is struck out and grounded into a fielder's choice in his 2 plate appearances. As for Kingston Long, Long with 19 stolen bases. You know the Vikings are keep a close eye on him. Smith checks the runner, comes set. And the first pitch to Mays. Inside, gets away from Aponte. And that'll allow Long to go to second base. So 1-0 count, and now a runner in scoring position with 1 out here for Shaw. They desperately need to get something going here. They're down 5-0, and they've only got, 5 more outs to work with. Smith gets the sign, along with a decent lead at second. Here's the 1-0. Ground ball up the middle. Velos scoops it up over to Sherman at first, and they get him. Great play by Jacob Velos. He scooted all the way over to center field. It could have gone through, but he scooped it up and gunned it to first. Nice stretch by Sherman. Mays went sliding in head first, but he is out. He does advance the runner. So there's a runner in third with 2 outs. Otis Stevens coming to the plate, and now mound conference. Matt Ward coming out to talk to Smith and to Aponte. Rest of the infield coming in to join in here. The Vikings have been playing the game they've wanted to play. This is the game they want to play all season long. The two teams met early in the season, third game of the year for Pacelli. They lost to Shaw 5-4 in a 10-inning contest. These two teams knew this was going to be a good ball game, a close ball game. The first one, the one game played at the Edward Jackson Raider Field, was certainly close and went 10 innings. Otis Stevens at the plate now was the winning pitcher on that one. So Stevens up. First pitch to Stevens, breaking ball, goes outside for ball 1. You got Kingston Long on third. Otis Stevens at the plate trying to bring something home. They've got to try to break through in a 5-0 deficit for the Raiders. The Vikings looking to get out of this thing with no more damage done. Again, Billy Smith has thrown an outstanding ball game so far. Smith comes set. Here's his 1-0. Stevens pops it up, but it's out of play behind home plate. No cars endangered by that one. So they count out 1-1. Left field, for the most part, is now in shade. There's a strip of sun that runs basically from the front of the mound all the way down the field, all the way to the fence. Everything else is in shade. Here's the pitch. Reaching, dribbler back to the mound. Smith flips it to Sherman, and that ends the inning. So in the inning, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors, and 1 runner left on base. At the end of 5 1/2 innings, Pacelli 5, Shaw nothing. You're watching the Beck Center Game of the Week on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
Whether you're building your business or finding your dream home, G2 Real Estate is with you every step of the way. Commercial or residential, our mission is the same, turning your vision into reality. With experience, insight, and a commitment to your success, we're more than brokers, we're your partners. G2 Real Estate, building futures one property at a time.
Bottom of the 6th inning, the Pacelli Vikings holding a 5-0 lead. Seeing if they can add to it, trying to close things out and pick up win number 6 on the season. They batted around in the 5th. The 3-run double by Dustin Sherman. And then scoring on a play that saw the Raiders commit 2 errors that brought in the 4th run of the inning to give them that 5-run advantage. Aiden Dixon will be leading things off for the Vikings. Followed by top of the order, Cam Carino and Nolan Vaughn, and then, maybe more, maybe not. We will see. Connor Dormany in on the mound now, taking over for Boris Garcia in the last inning. He surrendered the 1 run, but it was unearned because the runs came in, of course, on a result of 2 errors. He's done a good job settling things down. The seniors come up with the big plays when, come up with the big pitches when he's needed to. Got to do it again. His guys have got 3 outs to work with, but the Vikings have got 3 outs to see if they can add to that 5-0 lead. And again, Aiden Dixon coming to the plate. He grounded out on a comebacker in the 3rd and then flew out to lead off the 5th inning. Dixon, a 9-hitter for the Vikings. Connor Dormany on the mound, gets the sign, and here's his first pitch. Dixon takes it outside, ball 1. Just a little bit outside, literally in this case. Not the Bob Uecker version. 1-0 count. Dormany's delivery. Dixon swing and a miss strike. Got him to chase. Pitch was just a little bit outside. So 1-1 count. inside. Dixon gets a piece of it, sends it back toward the church on the foul. So the count now 1-2. What's interesting is the Vikings have not gotten the leadoff man on in any inning. The pitch. Off the end of the bat, it was just foul. Kind of went with the pitch, sent it down the third base line. If it stayed fair, it would have been interesting, though Stevens was able to drag it down in foul territory. It would have been tough, though, because Aiden Dixon can run. Count remains 1-2. The delivery. Dixon swinging, lines it, but is grabbed by first baseman Dylan Lockhart. Lockhart going to his right, doing a great job reaching out and making the catch on a pretty solid line drive. So, first out here in the bottom of the sixth inning, and that'll bring up the top of the order. Carino. This is his fourth plate appearance. First two times up, he flew to center field. He was like one cheeseburger away from something. But both times, Long was able to drag it down. Then he walked and scored in the fifth. The pitch to Carino. Carino sending it to right field. Falls in for the base hit. Cam Carino with his first hit of the day. The single to right. The Vikings in business here. One out in the sixth. Nolan Vaughn coming up to the plate. Vaughn, 0 for 1 on the day. He struck out in the first. He walked in the third and stole second, and then walked and scored in the fifth inning. Carino, nice lead. First pitch inside, ball one. Carino, last inning, Carino stole base number 20 of the season. They may send him, they may not. With a 5-run lead, it's maybe a go. Over to first. Dormany just kind of flips it over there. Kind of a pro forma tag by Lockhart. Dormany comes set. Here's the 1-0. Carino goes. Popped up, foul. Cam got a huge jump on that one, too. Vaughn swinging on the hit and run. It goes foul. So, count now 1-1 on Nolan Vaughn. Vikings, of course, being aggressive here. You don't take your foot off the gas. You just don't. Dormany, the 1-1. Up high, ball two. Letter high for a strike. 1-2 count now on Nolan Vaughn. Big pitch by Dormany there. There's a world of difference between 2-1 and 1-2, especially with a speedster like Carino on first. The pitch, Carino goes, and it hits Vaughn in the shoulder. A bruise puts him on first. So his runners on first and second with one out, and that brings up Jacob Velos. Velos would love to see what he could do about replaying the first inning. In the first, Velos barreled up, drilled it to center field, long gone solo home run. The run that got the Vikings on the board. He would come in and score on that 3-run double by Sherman in the fifth. The first pitch to Velos, up high, ball one. Breaking ball. Velos holding off. Velos leads the team in walks. He's walked 25 times this season. They've been trying to pitch around him, and they've pitched around him. But they had to throw to him sometime. This may be the time. The pitch, Velos sending it to left field, line drive. It is caught. It was basically a sinking liner, but Jordan McGee was there to make the catch. That is out number 2. He kind of reached out, kind of went after it. So that is out 2. Still got 2 runners on. Dustin Sherman coming to the plate. Last time up, Sherman with the big hit. The game broke the game open. Going Oppo, flaring it out to right field. It dropped in about 15 feet in front of the fence, almost right on the chalk line, and cleared the bases with Carino, Vaughn, and Velos all sprinting on home to make it 4-0. It is now 5-0. First pitch to Sherman taken, strike one. At the letters, outside corner. 0-1 count on Dustin Sherman. Wind picking up a little bit right now. Sherman sending it to left center field. Is that thing going to stay in the ballpark? No way. It is gone. Dustin Sherman Okay, wait a minute. Are they calling it a ground rule double? Center fielder Kingston Long went into the fence, knocked the fence over. Okay, they're saying, I couldn't tell. I thought it didn't. I thought it went over, but it took a one hop and went over the fence. So it's another double for Dustin Sherman, another RBI, an RBI double. It's a ground rule double, which means that only Cam Carino comes in to score on it. That gives Sherman 4 runs batted in on the day. Vaughn pulling up at third, and a whole crew has gone out there. Kingston Long went after it, hit the fence, and knocked the fence over. So what are freshmen for? Chasing down foul balls and reattaching the fence. So a crew of 4 freshmen from the Vikings running out to the dugout, getting set up in the outfield and getting the outfield going again. But for the Vikings, another run. 6-0. And with 2 runners in scoring position still with 2 outs, they have a chance to rack up some more. This is the kind of game the Vikings wanted to see. They came up with a good situational hitting. All season long, the Vikings' record is not good. It's 5-16. But a lot of those losses were one-run losses or losses where it was one play, one bad unlucky bounce. Something would happen. They've been in most of the ball games. They haven't gotten blown out for the most part. They've had a couple games where they lost big, but for the most part, they've been close. They have been so close. That's what's been so frustrating for the Vikings. Today is the day where everything starts falling together, where everything falls into place. They're hoping that what this is where it turns. Because this is a ball club with some talent, and it's a ball club that hadn't quit. And they have a chance to still make some noise. They're showing what they got. The fence is now back in one piece. Everybody's trotting back out there, getting set up as the freshmen get the run back to the dugout. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here. Sean Maglione. Sean Maglione coming in to hit for Levi Thompson. Maglione, the usual designated hitter. Thompson getting the call today. Thompson usually the starting catcher, but he stayed in the lineup as the DH. So Maglione's going to get his shot here. Maglione's hitting .273 on the season with 9 runs batted in. He's had a pretty solid season. The sophomore has done well. And here's his chance to bring home a couple of more runs. Get into double digits in that Ribby total. Connor Dormany trying to pitch out of this one and get out of this jam. The pitch. Maglione, big swing and a miss, strike 1. Vikings, 1 run in this inning, looking to score a couple more. They've got a 6-0 lead. Pitch. Outside ball, 1-1. Dormany comes set. And here comes pitch. Maglione, big swing, strike 2. 1-2 count now on Sean Maglione. Vikings would love to add a couple more. And time is called. Soccer practice going on beyond the left field fence, and somebody got happy with a shot, and they got over the keeper's head. They rolled into center field. So they got the soccer ball off the field. The Viking soccer team's had a game added to their schedule. They're going to play tomorrow. They're going to travel play Lee Scott at 7 o'clock Eastern time over in Auburn. The 1-2 pitch. Inside, ball 2. That was just added this afternoon to the schedule. Because they're getting close to the end of the season for soccer as well. They're trying to get ready for the playoffs. Remember, they're defending state champions. Maglione, big swing and miss, strike 3, and that ends the inning. But in the inning, the Vikings add another run. 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left on base. So at the end of 6 innings, Pacelli 6, Shaw nothing. You're watching the Beck Center Game of the Week on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. for old friends. Coca-Cola, for everyone.
Going on right now at Glenn Smith and Opelika.
Enjoy huge savings on our complete lineup of GMC Sierras and GMC Terrains. Full-size and powerful GMC Sierra at $13,500 off.
Buy today and make no payments for 120 days.
Drive away in the stylish GMC Terrain as low as $395 a month. People from all over the USA buy from Glenn Smith Chevrolet.
Check us out 24/7 at glennsmith.com.
Get ready to smile.
And we're back, top of the 7th inning. The Pacelli Vikings looking to close things out here, leading the Shaw Raiders by a score of 6-0. Billy Smith has been magnificent on the mound so far. Just an outstandingly perfect performance, giving just 4 hits, no runs, striking out 7, no walks. And leading things off, cleanup hitter Connor Dorminey. Dorminey grounded out and struck out his 2 plate appearances. First pitch at the knees, strike 1. Smith is at the 61 pitches in the 7th inning. He's only thrown 15 balls. It doesn't get any better than that. Smith winds. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Reaches out. Dorminey fouls it. Out of play down the right side. 0-2 count now on Connor Dorminey. The Raiders trying to get something going, anything going. They got 3 outs, and they got to come up with 6 runs. The Vikings looking to slam the door and get this thing over with. Smith winds. Here's his 0-2. Breaking pitch. Dorminey manages to stay alive. Got a piece of that one. Count remaining 0-2. Yeah, 2 guys stand out in this ball game. Jacob Velos, yeah, he's got that homer. He hit that bomb. But Dustin Sherman with a pair of RBI doubles. 3-run double on one, 1-run double on the other. That's a pretty good performance, too. 1-2. Dorminey sending it to left field. Connor Dixon coming on in, making the catch for out number 1. And that'll bring up number 5 hitter Jordan McGee. McGee has got one of those 4 hits. An infield ground ball that he beat out. Great speed on that play. He also flew out to center field. Billy Smith he's 2 outs away from posting a shutout. Still got work to do, though, with some dangerous hitters. First pitch to McGee. A little bit low, ball 1. He's behind in the count. That has not happened much at all. Maybe half a dozen hitters out of all he's faced all day long. Smith gets the sign from Aponte. Goes into the line, the 0-1-0. McGee rips it to left field. And near the fence, it stays in play, and in foul territory, Carter Dixon makes a great running catch for out number 2. I thought that was going to fade off into the seats. It didn't. It just stayed in fair territory. It stayed in the ballpark. It was foul. It was really close to the foul pole, too. Hit it probably about 320 feet. It's 325 down the line. Dixon sprinting over, making the catch. In the sun, too, dealing with the sun field. So that's 2 outs. Dylan Lockhart trying to keep the game alive for the Raiders. First pitch from Smith. He lines it. 1 hopper to short. Jacob Velos fires it to first. And Dustin Sherman with a great scoop making the catch. And that is the ball game. Wow, what a performance by Billy Smith. A 4-hit shutout, striking out 7 in complete and total command from Jump Street. We're talking a game in which he threw 67 pitches. That's it, in 7 innings. That's Greg Maddux-like performance. Very efficient with all those strikeouts, just that number of pitches. That's amazing. But you know what? We got to do 2 players of the game. I'm sorry. We have to do them both. You can't say one or the other. Billy Smith, the best pitching performance of the season to date for the Vikings. I mean, a 4-hit shutout with 7 strikeouts, no walks. But what do you do about Dustin Sherman? Sherman with the 3-run double that broke the game open in the 5th and another RBI double in the 6th inning. 2 extra base hits, 4 RBIs. So you know what? Our Alex Sweeney All-State Good Hand players of the game, Billy Smith and Dustin Sherman. Again, the Pacelli Vikings putting on a performance today to pick up their 6th win of the season. The box score here. Pacelli, 6 runs on 5 hits, no errors. Shaw, no runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors. Winning pitcher, Billy Smith. Smith, his record moving now to 2-3. Meanwhile, Boris Garcia takes the loss. He surrenders the first earned runs he surrendered all season long. Garcia now 1-0. So the Vikings get a big boost here. For the Raiders, they can shrug this thing off. It's a non-region game. They've got next week when they move on and continue playing region contests. They're very close to clinching home field advantage in the first round of the GHSA playoffs. They'll shake this one off and move on. And for the Vikings, a big step up. They are a week and a half away from getting back into district play when they take on Calvary in a week and a half, and then after that it's Strong Rock as they try to finish out the season and see what they can do about getting in the GIAA playoff picture. But what a performance by the Pacelli Vikings today. Pacelli posting a 6-0 victory. A great game for the Vikings here at Diamond Field. And this was a fun one to bring you, to say the least. I'm Dave Plata. For producer Paxton Holloway, thank you for watching the Beck